So, my name is Milet Ben Chaim. I'm 27 years old. Um, and I was at the party in Reim. Um, I really waited to go there. I knew I was going to be there before it was even like a few months ago. Like I already bought the tickets once they started selling it. Um, we knew it was a huge thing for people who likes to party and to dance and likes trance music. So it's a very big thing, um, and so um, on October 6th we went to this festival. It was me and one really good friend of mine, and then like I met a group of friends that I don't really know. They were like friends of her, um, and we just like we started put down like mattresses and tents and getting to know everybody and just hang out. I remember it was really the thing about those kind of parties is that it's really safe, like a safe zone. It's very welcoming and very loving, and you can feel at home from the very first moment. You can go there without knowing anyone, actually. Like you can just, you know, everybody loves everybody. We had there places like to do art and places to chill on two different stages with a lot of really good DJs. In my previous life, I was a DJ as well, so um, and we just went back and forth from like dancing to chilling with friends, knowing more and more people. Like, I barely think about it, but when I do, I remember how many people I've met that night, because you become friends with everybody on those kind of events. Um, and then when the sunrise began, we went to the mushroom stage. It's the smaller one. The sunrise was really beautiful. I remember it was a really happy moment. It was a very joyful and peaceful and free moment. Um, and then the music stopped. Um, at the beginning, we thought it was like maybe the electricity went off or whatever. Um, but I was really in the front because I like to dance really next to the DJ. So I asked the DJ, like, why are you stopping? He said, like, turn around, there's rockets. So we did. Um, and from that moment, everything was very, I don't know how to access the emotions I had at this moment. Like my heart is sealed. Um, but I remember people started running wherever. Nobody knew what to do. The protocol is to lay on the ground, and we didn't have any shelters there. It's an open field. Um, so some people lay down or sat down, or other were trying to run. And we do have this kind of like, I don't know, like mentality of being in Israel, of like, okay, we're near to Gaza, like it's the south of Israel. Sometimes we have rockets, like it's not a new thing for us. And I remember I thought like maybe we will go back and dance. Like I knew it was like a festival of 2 days. We still have so much more um, time to party, to have fun. Um, but after a few minutes of the rockets being really, really massive and brutal and not stopping, it's like I knew in my gut that I have to go. Um, Security guards were there trying to like open the fence that was surrounding the party. Just told us like to leave, um, but nobody knew what to do. A lot of people really wanted to stay there because they thought it would be best, and we asked them like, what should we do? What is like the better option? If they know, if there is anything they can tell us, and they told us that like they they think we should go. This is like that is the order, but they don't really know, and they think we should do what we feel like we should do. Like they can't really take responsibility for it. Um, and I realized that moment that like we need to do this on our own. Like there is nobody knows. Like it's pointless to keep asking and searching for people. I knew we had to leave. Um, People don't really understand that at that moment, it's people in a like in a party in the nature. So everybody is on any kind of drugs you can imagine. People are, and usually people take it right before the sunrise. Like that is the moment to do it because you want to experience the sunrise like that. So everybody is on acid or cocaine or MD or whatever. And so we're very much helpless. Some people don't really understand what's going on. Some people are really shocked. A lot of people realize that we need to go, but they don't know how they're gonna get behind the wheel. Like you can't drive like that. Um, Luckily, I was pretty much sober at this point, and so I asked my friend that I came with if I can drive his car. Um, we all got in the car. Sorry, noises are trigger for me. Um, we got into the car and started driving. There is a lot of cars there. The road is bumpy, and everybody is panicking. But I remember how civilized it was. Like we didn't cut each other lines. Like everybody tried to find their way to go as quickly as possible, but everybody was so nice um, and helpful and kind and patient. Like I remember thinking at this moment, like, yeah, I really want to get as fast as possible, but I don't want to. I don't want to do it if it means that other people will stay. Like we should all get out. So I don't want to. I don't think I deserve more than others to survive. Um, but because we were like we got it really quickly, and I managed to drive from the side for a long time. We got out, We made a right turn. We had like police officer told us that the other way is closed. So we went to the right, but after like a minute of driving, I saw like a car of Israelis that the people were like going out of the window to try to explain us what is going on. They did like this with their hand and they shouted, like I opened the window to hear what they're screaming. They said that there is a terrorist waiting for the cars over there and they're shooting everybody. So I made a really quick U-turn and we're going to the other direction that we already know that is supposedly closed and we don't know why, but we can figure. But on that end, there is definitely terrorists shooting at us, so we tried the other way. After also like, I don't know, 2 minutes of driving, we saw a lot of cars stopping. We realized that we have to stop as well. Once we got out of the car, we can hear the shooting. Being Israeli also means that you know weird stuff like recognize who's shooting at you, because Israeli soldiers, they don't shoot on like automatic mode, um, because it's not um, humanitarian, if I can say. So when we heard this, like I don't know how many hundreds of shooting at the same time, we knew that it's terrorists and not our forces. We really waited to hear a single shot. Like we really, like we kept thinking, okay, like so there is terrorists here, but how many? 10, 20, 30? Like that sounds crazy to us. Like it's a matter of minutes. Like the soldiers will come. But we realized we have to ditch the car and start running towards the field because they're shooting and they're coming closer. And at this point, there is like hundreds of people coming out of different places on the road from their cars, and running together. I remember one person shouted at the people who ran, like, don't make us nervous. Why are you running just like that? You don't know what's like, there is nothing. We're just being panicking. And they're like, no, there is terrorists behind us, like, run. And people didn't want to believe that this is what's happening. We couldn't wrap our head around it. Like, you can't understand at this moment. But I did start writing to my family and friends, like just the closest one that I love them, that I really love them. I didn't want to panic anyone, so I didn't say anything in addition, just that. And we ran like crazy. At this point, it's like you try to go one way and there is people screaming towards you that there is terrorists over there, so you run the other way, and it goes on and on and on. I remember this one point of seeing like a group of like 20 people coming towards us, and I thought maybe they're soldiers, but then I realized that they have like RPG. It's like a weapon that is really massive, and I know that Israeli soldiers doesn't go with RPG on their back. So we realize we have to run really fast to the other direction that we already got shooting at. From there, it's like you choose where to go, but there is no safe zone. You choose whether you run away from a gun to an RPG. It's like that. And I remember thinking is not even a good word, because I I feel like I'm about to pass out from being so scared. Um, but there is this moment in a nightmare when you know that you can't run fast enough, and you can feel it in your body, like you can feel in your back how people are about to grab you. You can feel that, but you can't go faster. Um, and that was the experience. Like I knew that they are behind me, and I knew that most of the people that are surrounding me are running faster than me, and they can kidnap me or murder me or whatever. And that is a nightmare. Like that moment is, I think, I don't know how we even stayed alive just from not getting a heart attack at this point. I can't really pass it with words. It's just too. But I do know that from that moment, I had a battle in my mind between the part of me that just wanted to pass out, to cry for help, to have someone saving me. Um, and the other part of me that knows that no one is coming, and that there is no point of me um, thinking right now about how slow I am or what's going to happen, because the situation is that. That is what's happening right now, and that's that. So the only thing I can do is to run as fast as I can and hope for the best. People are starting to fall around me. Um, I try to believe that they just, I don't know, fell down because they hit a rock or something, but I don't think that's the case for most of them. And still, people are so kind and stopping to shake someone who's too anxious or too shocked. And people are giving water to each other. I grabbed with me some chocolate so I can give to people. I started telling them that we don't know what is the next time we'll drink or eat, and we need the energy, and people need to wake up. Like people are on many drugs, and just the situation is really can make you really shock, regardless to whatever you consume. Um, and everybody is so nice in those crazy circumstances. Um, we realize we have to hide because we're moving targets, and they're closing on to us from everywhere. And honestly, I didn't have power in my body anymore. It was like over 2 hours of running. Um, Although it felt like 10 minutes, but I know from it, like after I searched like the message I sent to my family and the pictures I took at the beginning and the hour I called the police, so I know like it was something like that. Um, and I told the friends that were with me, like we found this kind of like something between like a tree and a bush. We ran, so at the beginning hundreds, and then we became like a group of like 20 people, I want to say, maybe even less, um, and then we hid me and three other girls. So at this point we ran through, like we ran for a very long time, so we saw like it's pretty much most of it is an open field, and sometimes you have like some trees we thought where we should hide, where we should go, but like no place seemed good enough. But when I saw that point that seemed kind of more safe, or that we have better odds to hide and not being found, um, in a combination to us realizing that we don't have power in us and that they are surrounding us and we don't have any place to go. Um, so yeah, we got there, we covered ourselves with leaves, and I tried to call the police. They didn't answer for a very long time, and when they did, they told us that they're going to do their best, but that there is villages that are being taken over by terrorists, and people are being kidnapped, and they can't really, they don't have anyone to send right now. Like they told us, hang in there, we'll do what we can, but you're on your own. Um, and I remember I really understood it. Like I wasn't mad or anything. I was like, we realized that there is something really big. But knowing how many people are being kidnapped, we didn't know exactly, but we knew that it's starting to happen, and to realize that there is villages that um, are now taken over. It was just so scary to understand that. Um, and it's important to say that it's not like we found a quiet place in the bush and we stayed. It's a fire zone. The rockets are above us all the time. The screaming that we can hear, sometimes it's Israeli that we know that they are being probably murdered or kidnapped or both. And sometimes it's in Arabic. Um, and we can hear the whistle, like they're shooting at us and we can hear those whistle above us. And that way we know it's here. It's not like it's also around us, but it's like it's right here. It's above us. And that was the moment I realized I have to contact people from outside. I really didn't want to panic anyone, but I knew that that is our only chance to survive. And so I sent my family a location. Um, we have like a group chat, and I told them that I need them to help us. Me and three other girls are here. We need rescue. Um, they didn't really understand at the beginning. They tried to. Nobody really understood um, just how crazy it is, how horrifying it is. Um, Israel, it's like the media started uh, understand what is happening and broadcasting that, but not on the scale that it was actually happening. That only uh, was revealed hours into this crazy attack. And my family and friends, I also posted on my story on Instagram that we need help without giving many details. And I asked her that they will not contact me but my family, because I need the battery, and also I need my phone to be quiet, because we're staying silent to the point where you try not to breathe. Like it's every now and then we want to start crying because because, and you can't cry right now, you can't panic right now, you have to stay silent, you have to stay still. um, and they started finding ways to, or searching ways to rescue us. um, my family wanted to come to pick me up. I tried to tell them not to, because we do not need more people to come to this fire zone. We need to get people out. Um, After a few hours, um, I'm saying few hours, but I don't know if, well, people can't understand, but it's every minute we don't know if it's going to be our last. Now I can tell exactly how much time was there, and I'm saying it from here, knowing that we survived. But the situation is that you lay there and you look up, because you can't look any other way, and you hear them getting closer and closer, and you pray that they will not see you. Um, but you don't know that, and you know that every minute that you are there, you are a very big risk. Um, and you don't know if they're gonna find you, who's gonna find you, when. And we started, first of all, I was very much okay with dying. We just made our peace with the fact that we are going to die right now. Um, I told my family that I'm happy with the life that I had and that I love them. Um, I, I said goodbye, like I knew I'm saying goodbye right now. Um, and I remember, like, there is tons of shooting all the time, but there were breaks of like 3 seconds every now and then, and I could hear the birds on those seconds, and I can see that there is a lot of gray in the sky, but the other part was really, really blue, and I had butterflies above me, and I'm in the nature, like I'm laying down in the nature, um, and I thought that it's really nice, like I'm gonna die here, but the world will keep on going, like the nature is stronger than the brutality that human has. And so after a few hours, we were able to contact this angel, Rami Davidian. He saved over 700 lives. He's 50 something years old from Patish, just a person who volunteered to do that. He, he was not called for it. It wasn't necessarily his job. He just decided that he really wanted to rescue people, and so he did. He went into this fire zone with his car, knowing what it means, and just rescue tons of people from that party. But he couldn't find us for over. We got his number after 4 hours of laying there, and for something like 2 hours, he couldn't find us. The other girls really fast, they ran out of battery because they texted people like crazy, which I can understand. They just like wanted to feel more safe or to say goodbye or whatever. I really tried to keep my battery, to save it for, I didn't know how long it's gonna take, but it was about to run out as well, and suddenly I realized that the location is probably like not not okay. Like if he can't find us, even though we're sending the location and he's so nearby, like we try to describe as much as possible, but we can't really. There's nothing to say. We were so desperate. It's like I'm finding myself saying stuff like, okay, there is one tree that is like really tall, and then another one that is kind of low, and then two that are really close, and I'm like hoping that maybe he will. I don't know. Like I don't even know what it's. You don't have what to do. Like it's. But I realized that maybe our location is wrong, so I asked him to send us his location. And it's all like every communication, it's a risk. 'Cause you need to be silent, and so you just waive your like options. Um, so he did, and I tried to like stick out my phone because the reception is not very good, but you can't get up. Um, and I realized that if I'm like taking it up, it will load something. We didn't have the full map, and so I was able to see his dot and our dot on the screen. Nothing more than that, and it was just like looking up to the sky, trying to see where the sun is, where it used to be. Like I'm trying to talk with the girl to understand the directions, where we are. We don't even know. Like we ran to so many different directions, you don't really know how long have you been running towards one direction. Like you don't know anything. Um, but I was able to explain to him like go east, go south, whatever. Like and I saw I have 3% of battery left. I told him like I'm gonna hang up the phone right now and turn it off. And I begged him to not to give up on us and to find us. I told them we're not gonna move. We thought maybe we should like. They really wanted to move a lot of the time, like to escape. The debate that we had. It's just silent and we're not talking and very scared and trying to listen to understand what is going on around us. And every now and then, when it feels a bit more quiet, we're debating. Like some girls are saying we have to go. They're getting closer and closer, and they're gonna find us. And I thought that we have to stay. I told them that there is no safer place for us. That is the safest place for us, and there is, for the very least, in the best option, 20 minutes of us trying to go somewhere. We don't even know where to go. They're surrounding us, and it's a terrible position to be because you're taking responsibility on other girls as well, and they're begging me to leave. Um, I told them, look, you can, if you want to leave, then leave. I'm staying here, and I think you should too. Um, and we try to like at a certain point to crawl to like a kind of a road so that Rami can find us. It's like I'm already like trying to step out of our hiding place to crawl like outside and to navigate our way there. And I know that they are counting on me to do that. It's a lot of responsibility, and I realize that it's going to take for at least like 2 hours for us to do that. And so it's not, my phone is going to die before. And they're like sort of like fighting with me what to tell to Rami, and I realize that that is what we're going to do, and that I'm certain, and I have family I need to go back to, and I want them to survive. And I don't know why. I knew in my gut that this is this is the right decision. So I told Rami that I'm going to hang up the phone and we're going to stay right here. As I went back to lay down with the girls, they begged me to like send them a message of like saying that we're going to die if he's not going to come. I told them we're saving that battery. Let's just lay down. Like there is nothing else to do at this point. There is no more phones. that is our only hope, that is our only chance, and we're laying there praying um, and accepting death. Before Rami hang up, he told us that he's gonna honk the horn in his car. So if we can hear it, we will know that that is Rami. So we lay there, and after something like half an hour, we suddenly heard Rami's car. And so I turned on my phone, and luckily I still had 2% of battery left. I called him, I was like, Rami, is that you? He said, yes. We tried to like understand how we can access as close as possible because there is shooting all the time. But I knew I have to go out of our hiding spot, and so I started crawling outside to try to find him. He said he had a white Toyota, which is very, very scary because that is the same car the terrorist had. Um, so I'm laying on the ground. I can see a car, but I thought it wasn't his car. And for some reason, I wasn't really scared. I felt like it's an Israeli car, but I didn't know. The last second, I could see something like a sticker in Hebrew on that car. So I went a bit up so that they can see me, and went back down because there is shooting. And it was the car of Leon Bar, another angel hero that decided to come just because he wanted to save people. He was there with his son. They went back for us. They took us. We got into their car. Um, he was so brave and calm. We asked them to search in the trees around us because we heard screaming. Um, so we wanted to see if there is maybe Israelis there. They couldn't find anyone. I think they were kidnapped probably. Um, the next day, Leon Ba was murdered by terrorists. He kept for 2 days to try and rescue people, and eventually was attacked. We owe him our lives. Um, and he was working with Rami, so after like we tried to escape this fire zone now in a car, so we felt much better. Um, they passed us to Rami's car, and then they took us to Patish, which is a village nearby. Um, there's still rockets and still terrorists, and so we're hiding now in a shelter for like 4 hours, knowing that there is people shooting outside. But it was different. We felt like we were rescued at the moment we got into Leon's car. Um, in the evening, they managed to get us out of the south, um, small group of people at a time, um, and that's that. Do you have any questions? How am I today? Um, the beginning was really chaotic. Like I would, the second I would open my eyes, I would start crying. I had many panic attacks. Um, and you keep hearing about more and more people who are now dead or in Gaza being held hostages. And you understand that it's still so scary. And you, from day to day, you understand more and more what you went through, um, and also what you could have went through and didn't. Um, and there is a lot of guilt, and there is a lot of we know it's not our fault. It's the terrorists' fault. But you still know that people were um, tortured and raped and murdered and kidnapped. People that danced with you a few hours before. And I can't I can't believe that it happened. And to know in the end of the day, I know that the reason that I'm here is partly because they were busy hurting other people. Um,
So this is the guilt.
yeah, so you feel guilty because like why did we return and other people didn't? Why there's no good answers to those questions. These are not a good questions, but we are very much haunted by those thoughts. And after a while of unbearable pain that our heart is going through, um, I think now I'm mostly numb. Like my heart is very much closed. So I don't, I still haven't really, uh, I don't see my friends from before at all. Um, I don't talk to them. I can barely be with my family. Um, I don't feel like I love, if that makes sense. And I do have a lot of love in me. Um, because there is so much love right now in our country. So many people are trying to help, and we have these healing spaces that we go to, and it's unbelievable. And it's so to see after witnessing this kind of evil, to see all this light and all these people with such a good tension with their heart. Uh, it's it's incredible. Um, and so I do have a lot of gratitude and love, and I believe that, um, that is the solution, to spread love and to you can't fight evil with evil. You can't beat the darkness without light. Like that is the solution. And at the same time, I wake up in the morning and it's too much, and I'm so scared, and I have so many friends and family that are soldiers that now at risk, and I can't stop thinking about the hostages. And so I can't, I don't, it's selfish to say because I was lucky enough to be here, but I feel like I'm dead. I feel like I have been murdered, and I can't recognize myself. I don't even look in the mirror because it's hard for me to, like, I don't know that person. I'm sad for that person. Like I mourn my old self because she's gone, and my new self, it's like I don't know who I am.
Have a message or something to add?
um, I think the message is that we it's hard to believe that it happened because it's hard to believe that it happened. In order for us to believe that it happened, we need to accept that there is this kind of brutality among us, and that it's something that actually can happen, which it's unbearable. Like I experienced that. I myself have such a hard time to believe that it happened. Um, but ignoring it or denying it not gonna help. Um, we need to understand that it happened, and we need to do everything that is in our power in order to make sure that it will never happen again.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.